So, hello, everybody. Welcome to Free Flow Friday, where Donovan Sadiq, the recovering Democrat, and we get together and we forge this whole cabal of nonsense. I'm just kidding. It's Free Flow Friday, where we talk about everything, for the most part, that happened throughout the weekend. We like to lead with a topic, and as you guys can see, we are going to talk about we need to align with us first. I think maybe some of you guys can get where we're going with that, but if not, we will fill you in just a few minutes here. We want everybody to get a chance to get on here so you can get cozy for the next hour and a half. Also, this is one of the other shows. Hey, Michael. One of the other only shows, with the exception of the Demetra K show, where we read every comment, question, or concern that comes across our screen, because we want you to feel like you're involved as well, that you're not just sitting there, but you're actually participating. And so bring forth the questions, comments, and concerns, and anything else that you want to talk about. And that's another thing, since it is Free Flow Friday, throw suggestions in the comment section of things we might have missed or something you want to talk about, and we will definitely do just that. And if I can ask you guys to do a favor and share this live so that everybody else can get the information and join in on the conversation, we would greatly appreciate it. And we have YouTube and Facebook here. You guys can't see each other's comments, but we can see them on the screen. So Donovan, and I also like to say big giant thank you to Marcus Guyton for everything he does behind the scenes and making the show go even further. So Donovan, what say you?
Yes. You always have there's always a great person behind a lot of these shows, and ours happens to be Marcus Guyton. You guys don't see him too much, but he's there. He's always helping us out, doing what we got to do. That's why he's part of the Demetra K team, and we're going to go forward and do great things. But thank you guys for tuning in on Free Flow Friday. Please like, share, and subscribe if you get a chance, and get this message out, because unfortunately, a lot of people out there don't get the message because they're too busy trying to live their lives, eating their seafood and their gumbo and, barbecuing and all that other stuff, or they're doing the boulet. So some of those people we're going to have to leave behind, but at least the message gets out. So please like and subscribe. And then also, if you guys didn't get a chance, check out my podcast. It's on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the other applications and stuff like that. And Demetra used to have her show. It's just been on hiatus since she moved, but we're going to get back at her and getting her the podcast as well, so that you guys can hear her while you're sitting in traffic, and if you're in any of those major cities. So Demetra, what do we got tuned up today?
So, all right. Again, if you guys can share this, we greatly appreciate it. So as you guys know, an unfortunate event happened a couple of days ago there in Atlanta, where 8 people were murdered in cold blood, 6 of those being Asian women, and 2 being white people, 1 white man and a white woman. They were at, I guess it was a nail salon or a massage salon, one of the two. Anyway, a white man, I want to say this again, a white man went about his business of murdering innocent people. He went from one salon to another, and I guess they said he drove across, the town or whatever, looking for people to kill. So when they caught him, he said that he had a sexual fetish or something with Asian women, and it sounds like he was driven. This is what he's saying now. He was driven to the point of doing that. Of course, they always have an excuse. And the sheriff there, or the police chief there in the situation in Atlanta, I guess it was, said that the murderer was having a bad day. He was
real quick. That wasn't the police chief. The police chief is a female. That was the police spokesman, and he's been relieved of duty. He has been relieved of duty because he has been shopping a racist T-shirt for over a year that blames the coronavirus on the Asians. So the very person that is speaking is a white supremacist himself.
Right. So which kind of gives credence to why he said he being the murderer having a bad day. It's like, really? So you have a bad day and you go out there and you murder innocent people in cold blood? Okay. whatever. But we know, again, they make excuses for themselves. So now I should take you guys back before this incident happened. Now, before the incident happened with the white man going and killing 6 Asians and 2 white people, you would see the news highlight some violence of Black people attacking Asian people, right? You see it all through the news. People trying to make a big deal out of it. Not saying it's not a big deal. No one should be attacked. And I want to go ahead and say that because I know somebody, you know who that somebody's going to be? It ain't going to be Asians per se. It's going to be Black people coming in here with the capes on. Not the regulars, but certain people coming in with the capes on, trying to make something out of nothing. So I want to say we do not advocate the violence of anybody. I don't care who it is. We are not advocates of violence at all. But we've been seeing this narrative play out that suggests that the uptick in Asian attacks is due to Black people. Now, I posted about it yesterday on my page, and I had a lot of people say, is this a thing? Are people saying that this is Black people? And we're going to get to every last one of you guys' comments. And so I would just simply put this up in the comment section so people can see. This is just an inkling of what's out there in regards to what I'm saying. So this Matt Walsh, I guess he's some conservative provocateur. He has a blog or something like that, and he's on Twitter and this, that, and the other, as you guys can see. And he says much of the anti-Asian violence has been perpetrated by Black people. Okay, again, he says much of the Asian violence has been perpetrated by Black people. He also says anti-Asian sentiment is a problem in the Black community and has been for a long time. These are the facts. Trying to reposition this all as white supremacy is bullshit, and the people doing it are liars. All right, so I want you guys to get a good eyeful of what this man, to me, seems like a big time white supremacist himself. But I want you guys to see who is helping to spread this false information that is Black people that are now the attackers of Asian people. Now, are there some Black people, attacking, if we're going to stick with that word, some Asian people? Yes. But is it a thing? Like, is this phenomenon that Black people are just hopping out of the bushes like boogeyman, the boogeyman, and attacking Asians? No. But somebody asked me to listen to Professor Black Truth today, and I'd never listened to him before, and I listened to him, and thanks, I listened to him, and he was spot on in outlining that the white media, they're the ones that's putting forth, and they're using some people like Asian, correspondents to further the agenda that is Black people. But he made an excellent point in saying until this mass shooter the other day went into those salons and kind of put a kink in their chain, because as he said, it was going along perfectly till the white man showed up and killed 6 Asians and 2 other white people behind him, saying he had a fetish for Asian women. So that went that narrative. But they're not the only ones that are spewing this. If you go on any of your some of the pages that you follow on Facebook or wherever, and you go into the comment section, you see a lot of people starting to hang this uptick in Asian violence on the backs of Black people. And so I'm going to get to you guys' comments, and then Donovan, what say you?
Well, those guys that have been following me, and I talked about this on my podcast the other day, and Terry Quinn, we're going to get to your thing. You just started your podcast. Please share in the comments so we can share that out here on the West Coast and down in Houston and stuff, because you now are part of the new Black media. So good for you that you're getting out the message and you're jumping on board, which is a big problem in the community. We have a small group of us that is out there doing the work, while you got some folks out there dancing for butter biscuits and all that other good stuff. And, we need to get this word out and get it out as soon. But yeah, okay, for me, as you guys know, I was raised in Asia, okay? I was raised on the island of Okinawa. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see all these pictures of me with all these Asians, and I'm the only brother in the picture, right? Now, just like I was telling Demetra the other day, or earlier today before the show, is I was talking to one of my Asian friends, and she was like, oh my gosh, yes. Oh, the racism against Asians. Okay, number one, where the hell have you been? Because you've known, as long as you've been in this country, what blacks are going through. So why are you surprised? And, she was like, well, no, I don't understand. We got to, unite the Asian and black thing. There's no need to unite because you guys see us as customers and we go to and establish your restaurants. We can do all that all you want, because when black people unite, we always end up with the short end of the stick. So we're not doing that. So she was like, I don't understand. What do you mean? I said, you're a damn lie, because half of these Asians, like I said, I have Asian friends and they're probably watching the show right now. Half of my friends that are Asian, half of them have married black men, half of them have married white men. And a lot of these correspondents that you're seeing, matter of fact, there was a commercial on CNN, advocating CNN's thing, all Asian correspondents. What the hell is going on? Now, if you want to do that, you can do that. But I told her she's a damn lie. They're the reason why the Asians are not calling out the perpetrators of this violence is because they're married to them. That is the reason. That's why they are silent. That's why they don't want to say white supremacy, because it makes no sense that black people are attacking Asians when we are not in a position of power to do so. Like Demetra said, are there incidences of black and people doing like, well, yeah, if you're going to be choking a black woman out in a goddamn hair weave store, yeah, she's going to fight and, they're going to defend themselves. And, there's little incidences like that. But as a whole, total bullshit.
Absolutely. And so before I get to you guys' comments, so the other part of this is we need to align with ourselves first, is because we've seen a lot of our so-called black leadership, and I say so-called, and celebrities and just a whole host of people, even people on you guys' social media timelines. You've seen people say, oh my God, we need to form this. And I'm talking about black people. We need to form this alliance. We need a coalition. We need to stick together. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you Negroes? Honestly, like, we are always trying to form an alliance with people who don't want to do that. And it's like, where the hell have you been?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but Asians don't want to form an alliance with us. They've been clear about that. Hispanics don't want an alliance with us. They've been very clear about that.
Real quick. When George Floyd was murdered on live TV, how many Asian leaders and people did you see step up? We're talking about as a whole, not the individual. And there were some out there, but as a whole, speak up in defense of black people. They don't do it.
Right. And so we're always trying to go save somebody else's burning house, but we won't go save our own. Like, we gotta align with ourselves first. We're so busy trying to form an alliance. Like, why do we do that? Is it a validation thing? Is it look, I'm not a bad Negro, I want to help you? I mean, what is it that we do that? I've seen Al Sharpton do it, and we know, like I said, hell, there must be some money involved for him to do it. Him and Andrew Yang stood up there talking about, and of course, the attacks on Asians should be condemned, but they want to form this alliance and this, that, the other. And it's just like, what? Oh my God. Let me get to you guys' comments, because I can go on and on. Let me actually take this off too. I'll get to you guys' comments. And Jerome, you say Biden's still not doing nothing for our people. Yep. So we're going to talk about that too, and throw it back in the comment section in case we don't. But I'm sure Donovan will bring it up. And Abu, how are you? He says, sending love from Miami. How are y'all doing? You guys in the watch parties, if you want us to see your comments, click on the link and it'll bring you over here and we can see them. And I should also say that the watch parties are actually going away in April. I don't know why they are. I just saw a notification that they would be going away.
They're going away because they're trying to stop this message that keeps getting out within the Black nation. They do not want this stuff spreading, because people, even if you hear about it for a second, it's a conversation talker. Because I ran into a lot of people from the South, that weren't really paying attention. They started watching our show, the War Zone or whatever, and they're like, wow, I didn't think about that. And now they're starting to click on, and they want to stop that. That's what that's about.
Huh? I mean, it sounds plausible. And again, Abu, how are you doing? You said, sending love from Miami. We are doing well. And Terry again says, hi, Demetra and Donovan. And big ups to you for your podcast. Yes, throw it in the comment section if you haven't already. I'm going to get to it. And Sharon, how you doing? It says, yay, Marcus, yay. Hey, Robin, how are you? Peace and blessings to you as well. And Kevin, how you doing? He says, hey, my people, and I do share great ideas, and because of your forum, great ideas abound. All right, now. And James, how are you? Shalom to you as well. And Sharon says, when I have a bad day, I drink wine, not kill people. Right, or go take a walk or count to 10, Like, why does that have to be your go-to? So, yes, we know it's some BS. Hey, Stacy. And let's see here. And Robin says, imagine if we did that if we were having a bad day, right? Okay. And you also say, Terry, thanks, guys, for your encouragement, as it's literally what gave me the confidence to go through with my podcast. I am so happy because we need more like you. We need more voices out there in the Black community spreading the word so that our people can be informed. So big ups. DeJuan, what's going on with you? He says, I am an advocate of violence. Ooh. All right.
Wait, are you an advocate or a harbinger?
I mean, do explain that, because are you an advocate in terms of Malcolm Martin type?
Malcolm I, Life for Life, that type of stuff, or are you the harbinger of death? You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, like some Rambo stuff. Hey, Willie, what's going on? He says, damn that, we need to push back without holding back. Yeah, I mean, because I think I agree with you, because we've been too passive as Black people, especially allowing everybody to form a narrative, like, oh, Black people are now doing this. And it's like, wait, hold on a damn minute. So you tell me y'all gonna gloss over all those ass whoopings that Black women, which you shouldn't have their asses in there in the first place, and all those ass whoopings Black women taking in the beauty salons and the nail salons and the beauty supplies and everywhere else you can think of, and we gonna gloss over that? We're gonna gloss over Latasha Harlins. I think it was the 30th anniversary or so of her murder by the Korean woman there in Los Angeles, and she got away with it scot-free. We're gonna gloss over that. We're gonna gloss over Kai Gurley, who was murdered in cold blood by Peter Liang. He was a police officer that shot into a hallway with no lights, killing an innocent man because he did not follow protocol, and he got away with it because his people, rallied together and got him off scot-free. So we supposed to just gloss over all of those incidents and just now say, okay, well, now it's Black people that are doing this. Like, come on.
And the funny thing is, if you guys have been paying attention, you're watching the CNN, MSNBC, when they show the video clip, the person that is perpetrating knocking the old person over is always covered up from head to toe. What is the only group of white supremacists that ever had to cover their face when they were doing their white supremacy? White folks. Come on now. Black people don't cover up when we're about to dish out an ass whipping.
Right. And Robin, you say those were random attacks by Black people that were homeless and had mental disabilities. Some say they were paid to commit those assaults to carry out an agenda. I agree. Because, in most of those cases, they were homeless or mentally disturbed. So it wasn't just like, Black people are like, hey, we're going to get together and just do stuff to Asian people. That's false.
Right. But then again, with our great police department, if that so happened, why would the homeless person be covered up? And even if they were covered up, why hasn't the police made arrests already? But yet you catch a white man that kills 6 out of 8 people that happen to be Asian women, and it's not white supremacy. He just had a bad day. Okay.
Right. And Terry say that's not true. This has gotten me so triggered. Yeah, it is very triggering to see how this is trying to be placed on Black people. And Brock, how you doing? He says, Matt Walsh, where are the receipts? Right. Yeah, he just, like a lot of people, just saying stuff. And the crazy part is they know that a lot of us will agree. We'll go along with it just so we can get a pat on the head from white supremacy.
And I want everybody to think about this. Let's think about economics. There's 2 ways we can handle this. If the Asian community, and like I said, I have a lot of Asian friends and I love them to death, grew up with them. If the Asian community feels they are unsafe and they are not protected, then pack up your goddamn shops and get out of our neighborhoods and stay away from us. And we need to stop going to their shops and giving them our money, and watch how that narrative changes.
No, see, they're not gonna do that. Okay, they scared of us. They ain't scared of our money though. And Kevin says, I'm really disgusted with the idea that now sex addicts are dangerous if they don't have enough tricking money. If Africans born in America do anything with what they are seeing, then it should be that we are focusing on an exit strategy from the ties and bounds that Africans born in America have had since before there was an America. Let's get out of the white appeasement world. I agree with you. But hell, shit, trying to go over there to Africa, they over there too. And Terry says, oh, I'm so honored. And Robin says, Professor Black, B1, did a live where he did a chronological list of attacks by white people. The attacks by Black people are random and very few. I think that's the one that I saw. Yeah, that was the one that I saw. He did a great job of outlining everything. And like you said, a lot of the attacks on white people to Asians it was like a little blurb, in the media. It wasn't no big, oh my God, look at these white people killing Asians.
Yeah, but my thing is, like I tell my Asian friends, when are you going to fix the narrative? If you're being interviewed on TV and they're trying to, show a narrative about when are you going to correct that narrative? They're silent. They're silent when it comes to Black. Now, you guys got to also realize, notice that the people that they're interviewing, they are from Southeast Asia, because not all Asians are the same, okay? Now, in the Asian culture, they have a caste system too. The Southeast Asian, the Vietnamese, the Cambodian, in that area, they are derived as the weakest group, being like they get treated like Black people get treated here in the Asian community as a whole. That's a fact, okay? But notice you see the Wins and all these other people. These are the people that are just silent, silent, silent. They won't say a word, but yet their businesses are in our communities. And this is what I tell a lot of my Asian friends. Hey, until you start, changing the narrative, it's up to you. It's not up to us. It's up to you. You know damn well Black people ain't attacking nobody. So I put a lot of onus on the Asian community themselves. If you're going to go with the white supremacy narrative, then you know what? We're done.
Right. And Robin, you say, I'm not interested in uniting with them. No, thank you. Yeah. And it's not, that ain't even no hate stuff. It's just like, man, we got to unite with ourselves first, just like y'all do. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we have our own problems.
Yeah. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you? Says this Asian movement came out of nowhere, or did it? Hey, Mr. Pirate Brain, how are you? You say, hey, Demetra, and how are you doing? I am doing well. And Sandra, how you doing? Says, we need to stay far away from these people. I agree. And Mr. Pirate Brain says, we do not need an alliance until we get our reparations and full protection under the law. Yep, until we get, and that's what Marcus Garvey said, until we get everything we're supposed to have. We have no business trying to help somebody else. And then he said the white man, but now it's the white man, a Hispanic man, the Asian man, and anybody else. We got to help ourselves first, okay? And Terry says, exactly. They're telling us if we remain silent, we're a part of the problem. Right. And I can't tell you how many Negroes tried to come for my head yesterday behind, saying what I said. And I just basically said, well, if they're afraid of us, are they afraid to the point of moving their stores out of our neighborhoods? Their businesses, are they that afraid? And then I also said, what frustrates me probably the most out of this is Black people are going to take most of that stimulus money and put it into the hands of, the Asian community, and, probably mostly women, via buying hair and getting your nails done and all of that. And, just like, but they don't like us. And they're trying to put this false narrative on us that is Black people that's now the enemy, when it's really white supremacy. And Kevin says, I say the news, quote unquote, news focus is to steer away from the criminals in government and corporations. I like that you point out the need for a genuine African-born American media network. I agree that there is a great deal that can be done through that source. Yep. I mean, who's going to tell our story if we don't? The mainstream media ain't going to tell our story, right? As we see, they're trying to pin this uptick in Asian attacks on us. Who's going to say differently if we don't do it? And DeWanda say, Jeffrey, this Asian movement didn't come out of nowhere. It came from Kamala Harris and Biden to combat the fact that they're both racist people. Biden had already said that the Mexicans are overtaking. This is their chess move and last push for white supremacy. And that's why I said, or is it coming out of nowhere? No, this is an agenda here. And then I can't think of his name. He's an actor. Oh, he's an Asian actor. I want to say his last name is Oh shoot, I forget.
Who Stephen Nguyen from The Walking Dead?
No, not him.
Jeremy Lin, the basketball player?
No, it wasn't him. I can't remember his name. I'll find it. But he basically said Asians are now 23 million strong and in the United States, and that it's a matter of time before basically he was like, we are larger in numbers. So basically what he's saying is, niggas, okay? We are about 20 million people off y'all ass. Now just remember, in the 60s, they were 3% of the population. Now they're 8% of the population. What are Black people? We're roughly 13, give or take, percent of the
14,
population.
Yeah, 13, 14. Mm-hmm.
So they know what's going on here. And pretty soon, and Dr. Claude Anderson called it, he says, we are going to be permanent underclass of people. Says none of these people that we are so busy aligning with and forming these coalitions, they're not coming over here to help us. They're coming over here to replace us.
Right. And you got to think about that number, 13 to 14%. That's people that identify with Black skin. Half of those people aren't even ADOS. And, I'm not saying half of them don't identify with us, but, we have a problem within the so-called Black numbers as well. You got people coming over here from other countries, and they don't want to, deal with us. If you're ADOS in that community, we have a problem within ourselves. So again, it goes to Demetra's point of we can't even unite within ourselves.
And it's sad. And Mr. Pirebrain says those Black celebrities be like, oh Lord, Master's house is on fire. Yeah, and I thought about it too. A lot of them, they make a lot of their money overseas, in the Asian markets and things like that. So of course, they're like, hell, that ain't nothing for me to sell my people out. Shoot, they ain't really paying me a lot of money no way. So I'll go ahead and form this alliance with people who have the power to make me or break me. I mean, to me, it's really simple to follow.
And then real quick, I just want to mention this, and it's plausible. We've got the George Floyd thing coming down. We've got the Breonna Taylor case. Hopefully she'll get justice. You take the money after the justice. The mom can, I'm mad at the mom. That's all I got to say. But they're bringing this narrative to take our focus off the George Floyd situation. And by the way, in the George Floyd situation, the judge did the right thing and said, no, we are not going to move the venue. No, you don't get no more time because this thing went worldwide. So there's just no way, somebody knows about it. There's no way the jury pool isn't tainted. It's done. We're just going to stay right here and we're going to do it. So big ups to the judge for not falling into the bullshit.
Exactly. It's like, come on, let's get this over with, okay? And Sharon says, I agree with you, Demetra. Not often, but this is not our fight. Yeah, we don't often agree. This is not our fight. And as Donovan said, Asian leaders did not come out and support the Black community with the death of George Floyd. Why do we always have to look the other way or form coalitions with people who do not care about us? Because we've been conditioned to do that. We've been conditioned to save everybody else's house but our own. And Mr. Pirebrain says, hi, Donovan. How are you doing, brother? And Silent D Productions, how are you? Says, hello, Queen and King. And Sanders says,
wait, I have to fix Silent D's production. It's hello, Queen and Jester. Demetra thinks I'm just here to be, just to do the jokes and all that other stuff.
I said, from now on, we're going to be doing a show like this. Okay. That's how we're going to be doing the show. Put him in his rightful place. I'm just kidding. Oh, and Sanders says, why are they not talking about the Hispanic man that attacked an Asian family inside a Sam's Club? He stabbed a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. That's news to me. I haven't heard about that, but yeah. Good question.
Yeah, but because it doesn't fit the narrative. You want to put everything on Black people. Everybody comes here and shits on Black people. You make your money in the Black community, but you also shit on us when it comes to your agenda. That's just how things work. And guess who co-signs onto that bullshit? Our civil rights parents and grandparents. They're like, well, we just got to give them time. We got to give them time. We got a couple up in there. Y'all don't know politics. Y'all need numbers. We ain't got no numbers.
I hate it all. And Dewan says, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Malcolm Garvey Hampton. Absolutely. I thought that's where you were going, but it's always good to clarify. And Sanders says, don't forget about the Asian that helped murder Floyd. Yeah, they just glossed right over that. He was standing watch as the whole thing was going down. He didn't think to say, hey, you know what? I thought we were supposed to be forming this coalition with the Negroes. Let me go on and tap on Derek's shoulder, say, hey man, get up off. Nope, didn't even bat an eye. Just
Now, somebody who's been in the military for 24 years and lived the military, I was a military kid. I'm going to tell you, you do not have the right to follow illegal orders. That's what the Nazi concentration camps guys were trying to say. And all the generals in World War II, well, I was just following orders. Bullshit. If those orders are wrong, you have a mandatory thing to do something about it. If I see this officer on this person, I don't give a damn. He's my trainer. He's my supervisor. I'm knocking the hell out of you to save that man's life. It's bullshit.
Yeah, that's just how to get down, though. And Silent D Production said this is why they want to push these narratives about Black Book, because they are hearing how loud our voices are and realize how shook we got them. Absolutely. And hello, Big Hero C.
Yeah, well, you know what? And I totally agree with that sentiment, because you think about it. We haven't gone away. We're still hollering for reparations. I mean, again, these platforms, they want to stop because now they are seeing we are talking across the nation. It isn't a regional thing. It isn't Houston. It isn't California. It isn't the Northeast New York. We are talking as a group, and we are not being silent, and they can't deal with that. Thus, they are trying to shut all of these things down and do with all these distractions.
And then Silent D Production. So you actually meant this is why they push these narratives about us, I think it meant us Black folks, to silence our voices that are being the loudest right now, and they are shook because of it. We are not backing down that easily. Absolutely. And Dewan says, well, white people perform the same magic trick worldwide. These most hateful, vicious people on the planet convince the world, the whole world, that Blacks are animals. Yep. And they're still pushing that narrative. Like, look at them. They're out there just like werewolves, just out there. It sounds like a horror movie. The Black people live in a Black lagoon somewhere is just hopping out and attacking Asian people. Like, okay. And Sumo Blackberry, how are you? And then Dewan says they get their money from Black women. Unfortunately, that is the case. We give that's why I said it's just going, just doing something to me to know that we give all that stimulus. Yeah.
Wait. What's that, Demetra? What you mean? I'm gonna go hear it. All they got to do, seriously, brother, all they got to do is take a 50% off some Yaki Hacky, and the Black women would be lined up down the street. I have a friend that has 2 daughters, and I was telling her, okay, all this knowledge that you know and stuff like that. I said, why don't you go natural, whatever? Because she didn't realize the damage she did to her daughters. Her daughters don't love themselves because they constantly have weave. And again, everybody knows I hate weave. I know you ladies like to change it up, but when your kids do not see you wear your natural hair at all, it puts a stigma in it. And now she sees it as a grown woman. She sees that her daughters are screwed up, and they spend a lot of their money getting, weaves and nails and stuff and going right to that shop. And that's the sad thing, Sumo brother. All these Asians got to do is put 50% off or 85% off. Those sisters will be young sisters and old ones sometimes will be lined up, and it's sad.
I'm gonna give y'all a pass on that one today. And Sumo Blackberry says Black first family. Absolutely. And Robin says exactly, pack their ish up and leave up out of our neighborhoods. Yeah, I mean, if you so frightened, be frightened all the way to take your money, your family, everything, and never come around us again, since we are, the boogeyman to you.
History lesson, real quick. History lesson. What country in the 20th century took Asians and told them, you got 90 days to get the fuck up out of here? And he changed the attitude of his people in this African country. Demetra, do you know?
Are you talking about Julius Malema?
No, because the niggas are still having problems down there. Uganda, Idi Amin. He threw the Asians out. And because the Asians had controlled the economy for years. And
look at the narrative they painted about him.
Exactly.
He was this horrible, evil dictator. This is like, Lord have mercy. And
right, but because of him, the entrepreneurship of his people, when you're starting and you have no instructions how to do it, there's going to be some stumbles along the way. But go to Uganda now and look at all the black businesses that are thriving there and doing that. But he had to get rid of people that weren't from Asia. They ain't like they didn't have a place to go. They're from India. He said, get out. You got 90 days. And the rest, they say, is history.
Right. And Terry says the elites have begun instituting anti-black hatred since the Beacon Rebellion. And Dewan says Asians are registered white in the U.S. That's where the whites get their majority from. Absolutely. Hispanics, all of them.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Why is it that the Asians don't have to have their voting rights renewed? Hispanics don't have their voting rights renewed. Who are the only group that's been here for 400 years that has to have their voting rights renewed? Again, black people, we are a permanent underclass, as Dr. Claude Anderson has said.
Yeah, and then how many hate crimes bills do black people have? And Sumo Blackberry says Robin Cooper, he did a fantastic job talking about, I think, Professor Black Truth it was. And Sunlight, how are you? You say they're not our friends. I mean, not your friends, absolutely. And Terry, you say a few years back, they were calling for a Black versus Latinx battle or conflict or whatever. It's ridiculous and exhausting.
Yeah, well, here in California, I mean, even the high school kids, you know, before the pandemic, you would see whole high schoolers in South Central just battling it out, you know, during break. It was almost like looking at a prison yard fight.
It was like that when we were in high school, and that was a long time ago. It's been like that. You can see they call a race war, race fight, or whatever it was between Hispanics and black people.
Yeah, and it's going on in the prisons too. I mean, you have the Mexican gangs, you have the black gangs. The same shit goes on.
But it wasn't even gangs. It was just, I remember it just being students, you know, from what I remember. And Ecstasy One, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says they're afraid to criticize the people they desire to be like. Yep, can't do it. That they hate on their own people before they do that. And
Brother, 100. That was 100 right there.
Mm-hmm. And Dewan says maybe if more black people were advocates of violence, a lot of this shit they do to us will end because they would know better. I agree with you. I mean, we are still living in a day and age where people coming up, calling you, you know, out your name and putting their hands on you. I'm like, and doing stuff to your kids all up in the school system. It's like we should always have that. I wish a mofo would, so they would know better.
Well, you guys got to be like me. I'm a double Muslim, you know, and if you don't know what a double Muslim is, you ask Demetra, she'll tell you, her father will tell you. A double Muslim, let me just break this down real quick, is a person that can't wait to meet Allah, and I want to take you with me. Okay, I want to take you with me. That's a double Muslim. But think about this, you guys. Seriously, think about this. Remember those liberals that were your parents' friends in the 60s? They were out there walking with us, and you know they were doing this is my liberal friend. He's a liberal. You know, oh, he's my friend. Why is it that the liberals' children and grandchildren are as racist, if not more racist, than the grandparents? These are your liberal friends, but the grandkids are more racist than the grandparents were.
I think we're seeing more of it because of social media and all that. When our grandparents their grandparents rather was doing it, they didn't have social media. They wasn't posting about it. They was just, you know, amongst their circles doing it. But now it's like, So yeah, I think we just see it more. And Sunlight says the hypocrisy is real. Absolutely. And Kevin says being free from this culture happens inside. I am not saying that Africans born in America must leave this continent as a solution to self-determination. I'm saying we must stop the sugarcoating the devil and focus on building the house of saints. I agree with you. And Terry says, I'm not patronizing Asian-owned businesses because I want to avoid the appearance of impropriety. I'm with you. Like, you ain't going to, first of all, see me going up in there, especially how you feeling about my people. I don't understand us sometimes. Like, there's nothing I need out of there that bad to where I'm going to sell my people out.
Well, it's just like Phil from the Philip Scott Show says, you know, if you got to do some shopping, shop online. Stop giving them your money in your community. Shop online. I mean, I've ran across all kinds of black businesses in Atlanta and Georgia that will mail me my shit that I need. Period is cut and blank, you know, cut and blank. So take our dollars. This is the only thing they respect. They definitely don't respect us, but they respect those dollars.
Exactly. Let me get back to, ooh, this thing jumped all the way up. Let's see. Do, 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 do. And Mr. Pirate Brain says white supremacy on blackface to commit crimes, to blame us. That's why they cover up. Absolutely. And Sunlight says, thank you. Get out. Hey, Benny, what's going on with you? You be cracking me up. Some of the stuff he be posting. Oh my God. I'm like, he is off his rocker. He says, I thought they just wanted us to hurry up and buy. Right. Hurry up. You buy. Buy. Hurry up. I can't stand it. Oh. Hey, Penelope Pit Stop, how are you? You say this is Janelle Don. How you doing? Why you want in Facebook jail too? What you do? What you do? You need some money on your books? And how you doing, by the way? And Sumo Blackberry says, buy black, build black. Yep. And Penelope Janelle, he says, stop white supremacy. Hashtag stop white supremacy. Absolutely. And Sunlight says, already there. Yep. And cheap property for sale. How you doing? He says, Shalom. They are in Africa too. Black first. Yep, they already over there.
And won't leave.
Yeah, I saw a video of I forget where it was, but it was an African. He had a cart and he was pulling an Asian man around. The Asian man, I guess, he was closing up his shop, and then he hops on the cart, and then the African is pulling him along like he's his personal Uber, and then the other brother saw that. They was like, nah. You're not going to be doing that over here. Hell, nah. It's like, you can't come over here and do that. So from what I understand, the Asian guy got in trouble, but he's like, well, hell, I'm just going to go on over to the, Africa and start me some slavery. And I was like.
But, but doesn't that also tell you the narrative? As rich as Africa is, the very people that live there do not benefit from those riches. Isn't that sad?
Right. It is sad. And Dwayne said, who just blocked you? Said somebody blocked you. And Dwayne, how you doing?
Yeah, Facebook just blocked him. I tried to comment on his thing. Sometimes you guys, let me just give you guys a thing. There's an algorithm out. So certain words that you say will get you clocked.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I should tell you guys that. Yeah, be careful of some of the things you say, because they do pick up on it and somebody report you. So make sure, you just kind of, unfortunately, because we don't own this thing, toe the line, because you know how it is. And Dwight, how you doing? He says, peace beyond to our amazing, brilliant, intelligent, and tenacious people here in the wilderness of North America. We, the men, it's our responsibility to unite, pool our resources, our ministers, for we have more churches in America than any race of people on the face of the earth. For the past 100 years, how ministers are taking our charitable dollars and giving our money to the bank owners every Monday morning. So who are the real Robin Hoods in our communities helping other people? And he says no scholarship, and I can't see the rest of your comment.
Yeah. But wait. I agree with him, but I don't think they're taking it to the bank, because when you see a pastor running around in classic cars, their kids are going to private schools, and they live in this big old, almost $10 million mansion, I don't think the money's going to the bank.
Well, it is going to the bank, even if it's temporarily, right? It's going there, but yeah, they're using it for their own purposes. But I agree with you 100%. The church is probably one of the most influential institutions in the Black community, and there's absolutely nothing to show for it.
$460 billion is estimated that have been collected by Black churches since the 1980s. And we have nothing to show for it.
Yep. And the one says, one of your YU viewers just reported my comments. Yeah, this is what I would say. If you are on here and you don't like what's being said, just click off. Block the page, block the person, but don't go reporting. Because now you just, go ahead, Donovan. Because
I know what you're saying about that. But you got to remember, a lot of these people are paid to do that. They're paid trollers. You got a lot of Black folks that are paid trollers. And when I say Black folks, you got people that are, coming from other countries. People are just trying to hustle and they don't care. So you got these people that are paid to do that, to disrupt the conversation and all that other stuff. So it's just going to be what it is. We're just going to tell the people, that are in the conversation, kind of be original with your comments.
Right, because you know how it goes down. And Sumo Blackberry says, good for the judge in the George Floyd case, Derek Chauvin murder trial. Absolutely good for them. And Mr. Pybrain says, most of the Black celebrities are not ADOS, like Joy Reid, Cynthia Erivo, etc. Yep, and they just go ahead and think that they're spokespeople for, ADOS, and they're not. They're just not. And Sumo Blackberry says, we're not caping for nobody no more. I know that's right. And Dewan says, why would they come out and support the George Floyd situation when one of their own was involved? Yeah, I mean, he was the front of it all, And Robin says, at Sumo Blackberry, yes, he did. And Ricardo, how are you? He says, exactly. And Terry says, George Floyd case is a status for this judge. If he's planning to take political office in the future, these officers are done. And they should be done. Every last one of them. And Reggie, how you doing? He says, greetings from Japan, global Black family. And Donovan is right about the Asian caste system thing. So how is it for you in Japan right now? And Sunlight says, what? And Sumo Blackberry says, Robin, for real. And Sunlight says, Black people co-signing it. And Sumo Blackberry says, exactly. And Terry says, the Asian officer not only stood watch, he was threatening the crowd with mace, literally holding it at the ready. Yep, that's what I'm saying. He was at the forefront of it, just watching it all go down and making sure it was going down.
Yeah, so, and here in California, you guys don't really, because the demographics and Black people are fleeing California in droves, Dimitri being one of them. A lot of your police officers are Hispanic. And in California right now, the LA Sheriff's is having a Mexican gang problem within its ranks. So the people that are being stopped and shot at are being killed. Black people that are left here are being killed by Hispanic officers. So it's no longer the white officer. And just remember this, when white supremacy is done with their tools, they break them. So if you got these groups that are going to be proxy, white people have no problem using proxy groups to do their dirty work.
Yep. And Arson, how you doing? He says, hey guys, I'm at work here, so I could be completely out of context. Just wanted to say, I hope you guys don't go out of your way at all to denounce so-called violence on Asians, especially Chinese. I don't hear them when you guys are attacked. So it should be the same. Now, it's just time to be fully aware that many Blacks aren't really for Blacks and aren't gonna make it, quote unquote. If you truly intend to unite and somehow change your future, we need to gather all the Demetrius and Donovans, and I can't see the rest of your comment. But if you could put it in there, this thing only lets
and go do our own goddamn thing.
There you go. And Sumo Blackberry says they know we are getting on code. Yep, and I'm starting to see that more and more too. Black people starting to get on code, so that's a good thing. And Silent D Production says that was supposed to be folk. I was voice typing and I thought I retracted the grammatic error sentence. Yeah, I do that a lot on my phone, and people be like, what? And I'm like, oh yeah, I was using my microphone. Never mind that other thing. That's not what I meant. But I understand that Brock says, I don't believe the census. How come ADOS has had the same? He says population number around 13% for the past 2 to 3 decades, yet Mexicans and Asians have increased tenfold. Something's amiss.
Not really, because if you think about it, you've got the crack epidemic in our community. It is estimated that Black abortion in the Black community, over 9 million Black babies have been aborted since the since the 1970s. We got Planned Parenthood in our neighborhood. We've got a small group of homosexuality going on. It's
Black
just it's just a mirror of things predominantly keyed to the Black community to keep us at a low number, which is also a reason to why I don't see why they keep fighting us on reparations, because out of the 14% of us that are identified as Black, half of us are ADOS, so that other half won't be getting a check. So yeah, it's
right.
Amazing.
And Sunlight says, and they can blame Trump now. So deflection is in full effect. So I think he meant they can't blame Trump now. But yeah, a lot of it, I would say the uptick did come from Trump, calling it the China flu and the Kong flu and all that. So he did start the nonsense, but this.
But when did Black people start doing what Trump said?
Right. Well, no, we know, as far as Black people are responsible for it, is some nonsense, right? And Sumo Blackberry says, Brock Brown, absolutely, and cheap property for sale. You say Trump, the China disease. That's what he said. Yeah, he did. He started. He had his supporters running around saying it. Stoking more racism amongst a group of people. I mean, he just did, and we know that came about with the onset of the pandemic. And he still says it to this day. So You know, that's where the blame should be due. And Mr. Pirate Brain says they are passing a law in HR1 that if you tell people hold your vote on video or audio medium within 60 days of election, you can be fined and sent to prison. What? Okay.
Well, but that doesn't make any sense because Republicans don't want black people to vote. So if we're telling people to hold their vote, they should be happy about that. Or is that a Democratic bill?
Come on now, you know it is. You don't even have to look that one up. I guarantee you it is. And you know, and guess who's probably behind it?
Who's
it's
that?
Probably the Black Caucus and you know folks that look like us.
Right. And then think about this: the Asian community, you know, and it's been a tragedy. Look how quick it took Kamala and Biden to get down there to, woo. You're going to lower the flags at half mast, but you couldn't do that for George Floyd. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they don't deserve that. What I'm saying is it's supposed to be equal in this country. Everybody's supposed to be treated the same. And we see that we are, as a people, are not being treated the same. Everybody keeps shitting on us, and we and our so-called black leaders keep allowing it. Even our black leaders are silent.
Right. And Arkeithia, how are you? Says I have made a decision to buy black from here on in. I know that's right. Same here. You know, I know some things you have to buy elsewhere, but for the most part, you should be looking for black first, off the rip, right? And cheap property for sale says Uganda. And Silent D Production says the reality is that they're afraid of us taking our money since we have the trillions and buying power. They don't want us but our money. They only see green and red, which is revenue and blood. You better believe it. And then Mr. Pirate Brain, he says, I mean, I think he meant to say Edie, I mean, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yep. And Kevin said the same thing.
You know what, Dimitri, time out. I am so, you know what? We're talking to the wrong people. These people already know what's going on. You know, y'all need to go somewhere and spread the message or whatever. No, big ups to you guys that come on this show that know what's happening. You see what's happening, and you're not unapologetic about, you know, putting that knowledge out there, because this is what it's about, putting that knowledge out there and sharing it.
Absolutely, shoot. We ain't talking to no idiots now. We talking to people who are in the know. But I agree with Donovan. And how you doing, Amawali? And he says exactly, Donovan, my 42-year-old daughter has never permed her hair because I forbid my wife to do that. Yeah, I mean, y'all see what I'm working with.
Amawali, are you a fan of Ike Turner? If not, I could send you the book Ike, and you know, good for you, brother. Good.
Lord have mercy. All right, let me get to these comments. Oh, it's a lot of them. I'm gonna catch up right now.
Go ahead,
Sharona, how are you? He says, as a serious protest, give your money to Black Barbershop. Have your hair cut in an attractive short afro, which is super easy to care for and cheap since they don't financially support us support or like us. I agree with you. And Cheap Property for Sale says, let's all move to Uganda. Come on, let's go. And Amawali says, my 42-year-old daughter even had her hair in natural braids for her wedding. I bet it was beautiful too. And Sumo Blackberry says, economics has to become our focus. Yep. And Big Hero C says, laughing my ass off, double Muslim. Donovan crazy. And Dewan says, because the great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents were the racists in the South. Yep. And they taught it to their children. And Mr. Pirate Brain says, that teacher that made the 6-year-old clean the toilet with his hands had to move because of death threats. Sharon Osbourne is getting death threats too. Yeah, I mean, you're going to stop messing with people, especially people's babies. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? That's what you should be facing.
Yeah, and then Sharon Osbourne's situation, I mean, come on. Sharon Osbourne is almost as old as my mother. She's from a different era. They were raised in a different era. A tiger does not change its spots, or however that thing goes.
Exactly. And Silent D says, we have to do groundwork on seeing who is an actual Black business, because you will have businesses that will cloak themselves as Black owned. Yep, I've seen it a lot. They put out a lot of Black, this, that, and the other, and it's actually Asian or white people. So you're right. You got to dig just a little bit deeper to see who's actually running that business, because they know if you slap Black owned on it, people say, oh, you know, we get all excited, which we should. but do your job to make sure that it's actually going to Black people.
Well, a good example, Black History Month. How many Walmarts had Black History shirts and were selling all that stuff? They never did that before, but all of a sudden, you got to get that Black dollar.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, Tisha, what's going on with you? Big Hero C says, hell no. You're talking to Cheap Property for Sale. And Sunlight says they can't blame Trump now, so deflection is full effect. Yep. And Dwight, you say, please, beyond to our amazing, brilliant, intelligent. Oh, I think I read that one already. Let's see. Oh, no. He says, please be on to our amazing, brilliant, intelligent, and gifted people here in the wilderness of North America. And we're chosen people of Almighty God Allah. It's imperative that we wake up and stop depending on the Europeans to take care of us. We, the men, it's our responsibility to unite and start pooling our resources and set up our own security forces, protecting our women, our children, and our communities. Even every city, country, town, and state, our ministers, do you know Black people? And I think in America, absolutely. And let's see. And Terry says, what exactly why I bought my own website? My server is next. Yep, absolutely. I mean, I have a website too. I mean, I guess I need to get Donovan and his damn cat. And Silent D says, you will also have Google moderators invade your chat on live broadcasts, overriding everything that you do on your supposedly own page. Yeah, so we know.
I'm sorry, you know, she needs attention. Sorry.
Don't let us interrupt you. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead and kiss the cat. My daughter said, ew.
Hey, I'm an animal lover. Everybody knows I love animals. I will, like Michael Vick, he needs to be under the jail as far as I was concerned. Yes.
Oh, Lord Jesus. And Silent D says, okay, so yeah, you do have people who are moderating and, you know, making sure that's why when I post certain things, I make sure I say it in a way, because I'm sure I've been reported a bunch of times. But when they look at my post, they're probably like, well, we don't really see none here. My posts are for people who get it.
Right, exactly. And then if you look at your YouTube pages and stuff, I had our trip from Africa up there, my Vietnam trip, all the trips I put up on my Facebook page or my YouTube page, they're gone. So they're starting to delete things that they don't agree with and stuff and take it off.
Yep. And then Mr. Pie Brain says, at Demetra, I am a longtime follower. If you need a moderator, I'm available. I got to figure out how to do that, because when I'm watching people's live feeds on YouTube, I see they have a moderator. So yeah, when I figure out how to do it, I'm going to go on today or tomorrow and I'll add you as a moderator. I would love that. Thank you. And M-Town Vet, how are you? Says, hey, says that Captain Doe, everything better starting better start aligning with us. Yeah, it's got to be us first. It can't be, well, listen, let's go over there and help these people, and then we're going to come back. And I always give this analogy. You have 5 pieces of bread. Your neighbor comes over and says, oh, can I borrow 5 pieces of bread? Please, I need 5 pieces of bread. I don't have any. Are you going to give it to him? You're not going to give it to him. You're going to be like, because I need this 5 pieces of bread. If I give you everything, then what am I going to do? But that's what we do.
Yes, we're going to give it to him. That's why we have leaders that cape for the kids on the border and all this other stuff, knowing that you got kids in cages right here that are black skin like them doing that. So, you know, we're going to, in the name of Christianity and all that other stuff, that's what they use the Christianity. We got to help everybody. I want you guys to know this. When the black people talk about helping everybody, we do not benefit. We do not benefit from that. It's just a simple fact. It's been proven over and over and over again. They just passed a bill in regards to some stuff that we don't even benefit. I mean, they're trying to pass an Asian anti-discrimination bill. We've been here for 400 years. We can't even get that.
Right. Pam is jamming, says, darn, I'm late. Nope, you're right on time. And again, if you guys want to talk about something we haven't covered, I know somebody says Biden still hasn't done anything for black people. We're going to get to that as soon as I get through all these comments. And Dwight says, take our charitable dollars and give to the rich bank owners. They take our charitable dollars and spread it around on Wall Street. The money goes into their communities while our women, children, and community suffer. Yeah, that's what they do. And he's talking about, you know, the churches, our churches, our so-called black pastors, they do that. And Terry says, when I leave the U.S., I'm going to the continent, Nigeria, to the continent. Nigeria is my first stop. So you're going to Africa, and Nigeria is your first stop.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give you some advice. Try Ghana first. Nigeria, there's a lot of stuff going on in Nigeria right now. I don't think you would want to like deal with that right now, but go to Ghana. It's a little north of Nigeria. I think you'd like that a little bit better.
Right. And then Janelle says, block the trolls. Yes, indeed. I'm going to have to. I don't see them. So if you guys see them, you just put their name in there so I'll know exactly who it is. As Hammers Jam says, Alex Villanueva needs to be fired. He knows exactly who's in law enforcement in California. Absolutely. What is he now? He's the
Isn't he Attorney General? He
must be.
Yeah, I think he's Attorney General.
Yeah, he is. And Arketia, you say small groups is it seems like every alpha male has flipped. A lot of them are. Well, I don't say most black males are alpha. Are beta, if you will. There's a lot of alpha black males out there, but yeah, they are starting to flip. Especially, you see, a lot of our celebrities who was, black power, and now they, common. He started that we needed to extend an olive branch of love to end racism. It was like,
I mean, what's that guy in Chicago? He was a Black Panther. You look at his 30-year record, the nigga hasn't done a damn thing.
Bobby Rush,
and then had the nerve to do a documentary on the brother that was murdered.
Right. And Dwight says, unity is the key to success. Together we stand strong, and divided as a people we fall. You better believe it. Sunlight says Trump's minions are not black. Right. Not the MAGA. Well, there's a few here and there, but not overall. They're not black. So I agree with you. And Terry says it's a Democratic bill. I already knew it was. I already knew it. The HR one where it says you get in trouble I already knew it was. And
let me ask you this though. Think about this. If Dimitri and I are on video right now, how are they going to enforce that? I just don't understand how they're going to do that.
Somebody going to probably tell. And Mr. Pryor Brain says it's a Democratic bill, and Kamala and Pelosi are behind the bill.
They can put all of these bills out of the blue at the last minute up on the House for a vote, but we can't get a vote for a reparations bill. Think about that.
And you know who that's targeting? That's targeting us, because we're asking black people, to hold your vote until you get something for it. And so that's targeting us, because everybody else don't really talk like it. Some of them do, but not as much as we do, right? Yeah. We are adhering to what Malcolm X asked to do, right? Yeah. And now that's targeting us.
Right, but just think about that. Immediately, a bill goes to the floor to get voted on. We get a study.
Right.
Put the bill on there and vote.
But that's what they wanted. They wanted Kamala in there. They wanted Joe Biden there. And of course, here they go. And I said this, and I'm going to stand 10 toes down on this one. I wouldn't be surprised that if we start seeing some more crime bills come out of this whole narrative that black people are attacking Asians. Just watch. And Dwight says, you are absolutely correct, my brother. And Terry says, I guess I'll just pay that fine. I remained silent far too long. Yep, I guess I have to do it too. And Pam Jammer says, greetings, Demetri and Donovan. Hello to you. And Mr. Pyrebrand says, buy from Black Farmer Co-op, all organic better. He says, buggy.com. Really great price. I'm going to have to check that out. Better Buggy. I'm writing it down because I know I won't go back. Let's see. .com. Okay. I'm going to check that out. And Omar Wiley says, and Donovan, I'm not familiar with that book. And which book was that, Donovan?
Oh, the Ike. It's the autobiography of Ike Turner. It was an answer to I, Tina. You don't have to buy the book. Just watch the movie. What's Love Got to Do with It? Excellent movie. It basically tells you how to make a successful black woman.
I'm sorry that I even stopped to even entertain that. And Pamela Jeremy says, when we say be one, that means we aren't playing anymore. Hashtag never again. Hashtag I'm no anti-black racism. Absolutely. It's got to be black first. We got to stop leaving our burning building to go help everybody else put theirs out. They don't do it for us, and they will never do it for us. But here we are. It's just sickening to me. Sometimes I wish I could say, beam me up, Scotty. Just beam me up. Now, I'm not saying I want to die now. I'm saying beam me up, Scotty. wherever that is, okay? Somewhere other than here, okay? And Sumo Blackberry says, Mr. Pybrain, thanks for the info on the Black Farm Co-op. I wanted to track them down. Yep, yay.
And then speaking of the black farmers, how many of you guys heard that they're going to get their final due, and they have the nerve to try to call that reparations? You can't give a small group of us a certain amount of money and just say, okay, y'all got y'all money. I'm not a farmer. You can't dictate what it is.
And what if I don't want to eat no fruits and vegetables? Give me my money. And Robin says he loves that cat. Yes, he does.
Well, she loves me. She's been with me for 12 years, you know.
He be wishing the cat happy Mother's Day and everything. Terry says I was on Better Buggy. I'm going to check that out. He says the website this morning. And Silent D says heading to work, Black family. Absolutely will be safe out there. Mr. Pyrabrain says, Sumo Blackberry, no problem. The veggies and fruit were fresh and taste great. Ooh, I can't wait to order from there. And Terry says, depend on the neighbor. Laugh out loud. And Dwight says, I am so proud of my dear, gorgeous, and brilliant sister and powerful brother. Stay on this fast track of knowledge. Absolutely. And we appreciate that. And thank you so much, everybody, really, for all the wisdom and knowledge that you guys drop in the comment section. We learn a lot from you too, from you all as well. And Terry says, okay, Ghana was second, but I'll totally make it my first stop. Thank you for the advice.
Yeah, I mean, no, Nigeria is great, but notice that there's a lot of Nigerians here in America. There's a reason for that. There's some crap going on in Nigeria.
And you don't be talking about my people, okay? I'm part Nigerian, okay? You better watch your mouth about my people. But I'm ADOS. I just want y'all to, I don't try to make sure I don't get my money talking about, we heard her talking about Nigeria. It's in my DNA, if you will. And Terry says, we've already sent several olive branches to end racism. How has that worked? Yeah, it's because we didn't create racism, and it's not our job to end it. Like, when are we going to get that? It's like, we really should just be sitting on the sidelines saying, yeah, so how's your coffee? Yeah, mine's is great. You know, that's not our job to end racism.
Well, what kills me is, you got these Asians that come here from wherever they come from, and they see what is done to us. And there's blatant racism in Asia. A lot of the characters that was sent there after the white guys went there after World War II, they didn't want the Asian women dating black men. So they made up all of this bullshit and brought the racism there. You'll have the black lips and all on the food and all kinds of stuff, right? But they come here, they see what is being done to us, and now they're surprised. That's what I don't get. That's my thing. I don't get it. It's like, okay, you see us getting choked out, murdered in our house. They're not even waiting for us to get to the street anymore. We get murdered in our house. Asians are silent. Not a word is spoken. But then they get hit in the head, just like Professor Blacktruth said. They get hit in the head, and oh my God, mass media coverage of this.
Tell them what you say about the Hispanics that just want to come over here and reap the benefits.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you want to come over? Come and get all of what this white man has to offer. Come and get it all. You just can't take part of it. You got to take all of it like we do. You got to get all of this white man.
So what you mean is they can't just come over here and get these good ass loans and housing and businesses and stuff. They got to get the racism too. Okay, I got you. And Marcus, you say, I firmly believe that America is a very small place. And I do not believe that we were meant to stay here when we gain our freedom on paper. And I still believe that we don't belong here, and we're being, it moved up, let me see. And we're being given proof of that. As a Christian, I believe that we are praying in vain for something to change that God has already long been done with. I don't think that we're given the resources to stay. I think we're given the resources to leave. Yeah, I will leave. I definitely will leave once they write my check. I will definitely leave.
Yeah, and you guys think about this. As the Democrats and Joe Biden, your girl Kamala, is out there making sure that the Hispanics are taken care of, how come nobody's talking about all the Haitians and black people that he's turning away in mass droves, more so than the Trump administration did? Nobody's talking about that.
Right. And Terry says, black media to prison pipeline. And Dwight says, Trump is the head of the Ku Klux and Klan. And he says the grand wizard, when President Obama made it to the White House, Secret Service took his BlackBerry, told him it was for security purposes. We have a double standard. Of course, they didn't take Trump's phone. I want to say that Obama did get to keep his phone, but I guess it was restricted, but no, not Trump.
Well, see, but that goes to Obama's thing of what you say, Demetria, appeal to authority. If you're the president, be the fucking president. It's just like what Joe Biden told those so-called black leaders. This is my plantation. You're not going to tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. I've done more for black people than anybody you could name. That 94 crime bill, I locked up more black people than anybody.
He sure did. He was like, listen, this is my plantation. You do what I say do, okay? You get besides yourself. And let's see here. And Reggie says, speak on it, Donovan. And Jacob versus Esau, how are you? He said, let's just take a moment to appreciate the beauty of our black women, saying that genuinely not simping, especially the ones who stand with their black men. All right now. No, that's definitely not simping. I think we as black people, men and women, need to hear that from each other. We need to hear each other, edify each other. Hey, black queen, how you doing? Hey, beautiful queen, how you doing? Like, we need to get used to that.
No, wrong. WAP. It's all about WAP. That's what we're going to be doing. No, but you're absolutely right. What's wrong with black people walking on a beach holding hands? What's wrong with saying, this woman is beautiful? What's wrong with all of that? No, we have a generation of leaders. And like I said, I'm not trying to downgrade anybody, but you got a so-called black leader that's been championing for 30 years, talking about Megan Thee Stallion as a role model for black women and the song, you know what I mean? It's
talking about Maxine Waters.
We need term limits. We need term limits. If you're too young to hold an office, you should be also too old to hold an office.
She says, now that's audacity. Like, okay, play it for your grandbabies. And Sumo Blackberry, let me see, make sure you say facts, Donovan. And Mr. Pirate Brain says we should be doing hair in our basements like we used to, and buying fish and chicken and dinners from each other. Yes, I'm always still doing that.
Yeah, some of us are still doing that. But Demetria, tell them when we were in South Africa, what an average beauty hair salon looks like in South Africa when we were going through Soweto and those places.
It was braiding, right?
They were braiding or something like that.
Yeah, they were braiding. Yeah, they were. Yeah, I know what you mean. They were like on the street, like they would have like a little makeshift, I don't know, cardboard or something, just right there on the streets, and we just saw so many, sisters braiding hair right there on the spot. And then sometimes it'd be a few of them. A lot of the people probably were tourists, but a lot of them probably were just native there. But they braid hair right on the spot. I was like, shoot, we need to stop so I can get my dude braided up. Yeah, but we need to get back to that. I mean, shoot, I'm just one of those people. I don't remember when doing hair became so difficult. I used to have my hair permed and stuff a long time ago, so it was a little easier to comb through it. But it just, for me, I'm speaking for me personally. When I permed my hair, it just seemed like the life left out of it. It was flat and it was just But naturally, my hair grows up. I don't have the hair that hangs down. It grows up. And so, when it's in that state, it just looks livelier opposed to, it being flat with chemicals on it. But that's just my opinion. I'm not trying to speak for nobody else.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is we were in South Africa and Africa in general. I saw those sisters being entrepreneurs right there on the street. They said, what you need to, boom, sat them in the chair, whatever, a box or a crate, boom, 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 was working it.
Yep, sure did. And Terry says they don't understand that abusers abuse. They never stop. It was only a matter of time before they suffered the same. Yeah, you don't think white supremacy sees Asians getting ready to, get close to them? Asians are the wealthiest people in America. So, of course, white supremacy is like, okay, we're going to have to shut the door on y'all just a little bit. So, come on. Asians are really smart people. So, to me, it's hard to understand why they don't get it, but maybe they don't want to get it. Maybe they want to help, spread the narrative. I don't know. And Dwight says, my brother, you have to know that the amazing, intelligent, gifted Black goddess has 14 billion brain cells. She is the mother of all humanity. You can think of it. If she sleepwalk in the room and ask her a question, her subconscious will give you the correct answer. Ooh, I hope nobody never do that to me.
When I was married, my wife was a sleepwalker, and I would say, hey, what are you doing? And, her answer was, I can't say that on the channel, but anyway.
She'd be like, what, Jerome? Excuse me, Bob?
Yes, just we're divorced right now.
And Terry says that's why they won't cut the check, because they know most of us will leave. Yeah, and they need us here. I mean, we make up the most in the service industry. It's mostly us. So shoot, if we leave, who gonna flip their burgers and and clean their hotel rooms and all of that? Yeah, you own us something. And Marcus says, well, once again, I will say it again. The reason that they're turning the Haitians away, and the reason they're turning the Jamaicans and the Africans and everyone else away that's Black and brown, it's in capital letters. We don't effing belong here. Let's have a year-long conversation about how to get the F out and take the money with us. I agree with you. I agree with you. We've been over there. So we should have been back there, but the pandemic said, hold my beer. So, but as soon as we can, we out of here too. We got to come back now. I'm just saying. But we're going to go for a longer time this time.
Yeah, I think we should go for at least a month, 20 to 30 days. We
got to, especially all that we've been through with this pandemic. We must. And Pamela Jam says, Joe Biden is a misfit. Yeah, that he is. And Dwight says, you are absolutely correct. Our exceptionally gorgeous and Black, beautiful Black Nubian queen. Ooh. And Wisdom and Earth, how are you doing? He says, everybody house ain't clean. So you're talking about the fish dinners and the chicken Oh, yeah. Yeah. Go to somebody no. Okay? Go to somebody no.
No, a true story. When I was a kid, there was this one older lady, and she used to make pecan candy or whatever, and I guess she left it out on the tray. You know where I'm going with the story. And my mom and my grandma used to say, well, don't say nothing, baby, because there was things in it. But we bought it from her, and my grandmother reimbursed us for the loss of the money, because we were like, and isn't it funny? Our grandmother's like, well, that's no big deal. Just eat around it. You're just like.
Shit. Grandma, I'm just going to have to take an ass whooping on this one, because I'm not doing that, okay? Mr. Pirate Brace says, Demetri, your hair grows to kiss the sun. Absolutely. It does. A lot of our hair does grow up to the sun. So you're absolutely right about that. And Terry says, I have a friend who told me that some strippers and are modest women tried to tell me that when they only go topless, they're being modest.
Well, I guess if you go to some parts in Africa, a woman could, walk around with, nothing on the top, and it's just a breast. I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, I don't see the big deal with it, but.
So if you see some women walking around outside with no top on right now, you'd be like, it's just some titties.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to look at. I mean, as long as they ain't dragging on the by her knees or nothing like that. No, even if they were. I mean, the breasts are for feeding children, so it's like, I know.
You remember that next time you get a girlfriend.
Yes. Well, the thing is, we sexualize stuff that really is so trivial. It's really crazy. But like I said, I personally, I don't understand why women can't be at a beach topless. I don't understand. If a guy can do it, why can't the female do it? So.
Yeah, well, we know why, but we won't go there today. Okay. Hell, they don't even want women breastfeeding. They have a problem with that in public anyway. And Pamela Jam says, black hair, black natural hair is beautiful. Keep it moisturized, makes it grow. Yep, I would say that's true for me. If it's dry, then it breaks off. But if I keep it moisturized, and I wash my hair once a week, just, to kind of keep my scalp clean and all that. But if you do those things, it'll grow. I mean, a year ago, I was damn near bald because I had shaved it off really short. So it will grow. And Donovan says, help support the channel. I didn't even put the Cash App up there today. $ Demetra K. If you want to help support New Black Media, it's all appreciated. Hashtag Demetra K. I mean, $ Demetra K. And Dwight, he says, sister, God created you in question. Your hair represents knowledge. That's why it grows up and out of the scalp. Yep, I like that. Yeah, I mean, I just really just think it's getting to know who you are and know all about yourself. But unfortunately, Black women, especially, we've been sold the idea that if your hair is, straight and, long and, more European looking, if you will, because I know we as Black women can grow straight, long hair. I'm not saying that. But we've been told that if we look more European, then we're more acceptable. We're more beautiful to the eye, right? And so a lot of us, we do this thing called assimilation, where we put, hair that's not ours in our hair, and we straighten it, even if it's going to cause us problems up in the long run. And we do things to our skin and our eyes and, things that are not like our natural selves to fit in. And then, it comes back to bite us. But I just think you should always be your authentic self, whatever that is, and who will like you for who you are. So, but absolutely. And Sacks Up Your Life, he says, yes, we should be buying only from our people and stop giving our money away. Yep. And Chico Man 53, how are you? Says, doing hair got hard when required you to have a license to do hair. Yep. And you know what? I think this is just me. I think people should have a license, some sort of a license to do hair. Even to braid. And I don't think you should go do the whole 1,600 hours. I think that's what it is now. 1,600 hours to do it. But you should have some sort of practical and theory behind it, because you see a lot of people who braid, they end up braiding people's edges out and causing, traction alopecia and permanent damage to the follicles because they don't know what they're doing. I'll tell you guys a short story. I had somebody braid my hair once, and they ended up scratching my scalp. It wasn't a big deal, just scratched my scalp. And about a week or so later, I had these sores, these really pussy sores in my hair, and I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe I had some bad dandruff, which I don't. And finally, I went to the doctor. He says, you came just in time. He says, you had impetigo. I said, huh? How'd I get that? And so I had the braids out by that time, and I told him that I had got my hair braided. He said, yeah, what probably happened was whoever braided your hair scratched your scalp, because when you're braiding, you're gonna put some little fine scratches. And they said they probably their nails were unclean, and maybe they had some feces under their nails, and it caused you to have impetigo. He says, but if you didn't come when you did, you would have been permanently bald in those areas. So that's why I think some people should have some sort of technical knowledge when they're doing hair. And Sandra, you says, I would leave today. Wow. And Mr. Pie Brain says, the way to get out and take the money through cryptocurrencies can't be tracked. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that. I have some cryptocurrency. I need to get some more, but whew, it's what, like 50 something thousand a coin now? That's Bitcoin. And Dogecoin is less than 6 cents, I think, at this point. And let's see here. And Sandra says the Asians want reparations. They've been getting it. They like the Japanese. They've gotten reparations.
Yeah, the average Japanese got $20,000. Them and their descendants. So.
Yep. Due to the internment camps. And Terry says they're not appealing to the prudent interest of men either. And Marcus says, put it this way: when you get, put it this way, when you got future politicians and police officers who are currently kids pissing in Black children's mouths, say everything. So you're talking about the little boy who was forced to drink urine, or is there something else we didn't know about? And Dwight says, talking about our diet, since we've been here in the wilderness of North America, I would die of change to what the Europeans have been eating for years, blood meat, and it's very dangerous to us because we are tropical people. Yes, we should all, try to get to close to a plant-based diet as possible. It's just better for us. And to your point, when we went to South Africa, I didn't know. Well, I studied a little bit about diet before I went there. They're mostly vegan and vegetarian. So as a vegan, I didn't have any problems finding vegan food at all. It was like, wow, I'm in heaven. And the food was so good. And Mr. Pyre Brain says that Chico Man 53, we need to opt out of that system and set up our own basement hair salons. We need to separate. Yep. And Sacks Up Your Life says not too long ago, showing women's feet was considered indecent too. True. And now you got people who having all these foot fetishes and stuff. And Jacob versus Esau, you say it would behoove us blacks, quote unquote, to question what's our true nationality. I've seen those guys in the purple and gold on the street corners preaching about the Israelites and us being the real Jews. Yeah, those are the Israelites. It's funny, I haven't seen any on my page in a while.
Yeah, you know, and don't get me wrong, I'm all for, you know, those guys and stuff like that, but your religion, I don't think is going to solve our problem being, you know, okay, let's say I know I'm an Israelite. How is that going to change my position here in the United States? That's my question. I mean, it's good to know who you are, right, but what good is that if it doesn't really change what you're doing here in this country?
Right. It's not like a status thing. Like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, go ahead. We're going to get white supremacy. Going to give you a pass. Here's your reparations too. Oh, that loan at the bank. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. And Dwight says, let me tell you, gorgeous, the black woman, how gorgeous the black woman is, the most beautiful woman on the planet. I don't care what you put on you. Our creator so classy. You make it look rich. You know what? Let's just go and just read all of his comments from now on. Okay. Keep going. Hey, Jonelle, how are you? And Pam is jamming says, you are correct, Demetri. Those tools hairdressers use must be clean as well. So that's why I'm saying they need to know how to do all of that, because you're not supposed to use the same comb on a different person. You're supposed to change the combs out.
Well, girl, you give me the money, I'll go do it. You don't tell me how to do it. I'm in the hood. That's how we do it here. It's always been done this way. I didn't mess up your hair. That's something that you must have had. Maybe you didn't wash your hair.
And you also ain't supposed to be eating chicken as you braid hair, like because you putting saliva on somebody's scalp. But so not to be funny, but those are things people just need to know. Like a lot of those things are a no-no, right? And Chico Man 53 says you don't see black women on the news channels with afros. And I was watching CNN not too long ago, and I saw a sister. Her hair was really kinky, and I was like, now how did she slip through the cracks? I loved it, but I'm like, this must be CNN's thing trying to be woke now.
Yeah, well, what it is, as a matter of fact, I think Connecticut or one of those, the Rhode Island, they have now put in a law that forbids people from not wearing their natural hair. You know what I mean? A corporate law to kind of just stop that bullshit. So, things are changing, but let me tell you this, it ain't changing because of black politicians. It ain't because of black politicians. That's for damn sure.
Right. And Jonelle says, look into GS Partners. I think you've been sending me stuff on that. I'm gonna have to look into that because, like you said, we need to get all that we can, right? And Rashida, how are you? Says Black First in Chicago. Love y'all. We love you too. And Dwight says, sister, I'm looking at your complexion. It's so rich looking teenager. Now see.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you.
Be quiet. Dwight is speaking. Hush, you fool.
Oh man, good. She all right, brother. Look, she's all right. She's all right.
I appreciate that because the rabbit is getting old. I'll be 50 next month. Lord have mercy. I remember when I used to see women or hear women say, most women, a lot of women don't tell you their age. But when I was young and I hear a woman say she's 50, I'm like, damn, she old. And here I am finna be 50.
Knocking on that door. Welcome to the club.
I don't think I'm quite over the hill yet. I think I'm on the hill at 50.
No, but you got to think about it this way too. How many of us could live to be 50, if not longer. You got to look at it, a certain way. With the way that they're killing us and strangling us and doing what they doing to us. I mean, you made it.
So far, I'm making it. Yes, indeed. And Pamela Janice says, actually, there needs to be meat in the diet to get the vitamins that are not in fruits and vegetables. Too much meat is a problem, though moderation is always key. Pam, can I tell you a secret? Donovan doesn't even know this. I've actually had to start eating a little meat.
I knew it. I knew it.
But other than that, I've been vegan for 7 years. Now, I keep saying I'm going to go back, but just genetically, the way my body is doing its own thing, there's a lot of vegetables I can't eat anymore. It like jacks me up. And my doctor actually recommended that I start eating a little bit because he says that, and this is why I've gotten some weight gain, but I'm working on that I'm eating too many carbs to try to satiate myself. But it's like, if you eat a little bit of meat, lean meat, of course, then you'll feel a little bit better. So I have actually felt a little bit better and not felt as drained as I have been. And so, yeah.
I mean,
there's my confession.
Yeah, he couldn't give you like a supplement to kind of help that out, or he just said, just go ahead and eat some meat.
He was vehement about it. I resisted for a long time, but then I don't eat it all the time. Every once in a while, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, some vegetables, I just cannot do it. It has me in like a lot of pain. So it's just, I don't know if it's a genetics thing or a biological shift. I don't know. Okay, but there's my confession.
All right, I'll send you an 8-piece of Winco. You and Al could split that.
But mostly plant-based, though, I must say. And Terry says, my hair is too long for an afro, but plaits work too. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I love me some plaits. I'm having a lot of it in this Houston weather. You can believe that. And Jonelle says, fruits and veggies, water, juice, herbs are the best. Look into Navy Bean. Read How to Eat to Live, book 1 and 2. You know I got it, brother. Absolutely. That is the best way to go. So you feel better. And beans aren't my friend either. I hate to say it, but right now, can't do it. It's a lot. And so I'm gonna get the rest of these comments as we get out of here. Reggie laughing, and Mr. Fireman says, "I really love your show, laughing black ass off." And Pam Jamming says, "Y'all funny though." We try. And Dwight says it's called professionalism. Absolutely. And Pam Jamming says California has the Crown bill. It passed. You have the Crown Act, where it says leave black women alone about their hair.
Yeah, and it took off, and I think in Chicago, and it's on the East Coast now. A couple states on the East Coast have. I think they said 20-something states have introduced that bill and working on it, and some of them have passed it.
I mean, that's just more policing black people. Oh, we think your hair would look better if you slick it down. I don't want to slick it down. I'm gonna come up in there with it growing all the way to the sky. And if you don't like it, then I guess I have to go work for myself, which is what I do. Okay. And Sex Up Your Life says, being an Israelite tells us that our captivity is coming to an end soon. Just wait. You know what? I really hope so. I really do. And Sumo Blackberry says, Joy Reid started wearing braids and I got whiplash. Oh, wait, because she's trying to look more Afrocentric now?
Well, you got to remember, she's from the Caribbean somewhere. I think she's from Haiti. Her people are from Haiti.
Mm-hmm. And Chico Man 53 says, good black don't crack. You better believe it. And Marcus says, I don't think we see how infected we are with the disease of things like indoctrination. It broke my heart to see the video of the brother in the Capitol trying to protect people who hate him from people who hate him. Says repetitive conversation is like a virus. And if we start to repeat new ideas and new frontiers, then we will begin to become conversation across social media and in the homes as well as the workplace. Absolutely. Yeah, that was a doozy right there. It's like, man, imagine if you would have just said, let me go mind the business that pays me. Imagine how different things might have been. He'll go down in history as that dude.
Yeah. Did you hear how the Republicans who didn't vote for any bills didn't want to vote for the police officers that protected them and stuff like that? And they were on, it's just the hypocrisy of the whole thing, And then I guess there's a new women's bill that they put out. Republicans didn't want to vote for that in the House. It's just, Mm-hmm.
Who's running the party? Ike Turner. And Terry says, me too, April 7th. Yay. I'm April 13th. I believe you're an Aries, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't know when. I know I'm an Aries, okay? And we don't play. I'm just playing. People give us a bad rap, but we really actually good people. Unless you get on our bad side. And Pamela's Jammin says, too many carbs are bad for some folks as well, especially diabetics. Yeah. And, just me getting older, menopause and all of that. Carbs is like, oh, yeah. You want to wear those certain size pants, huh? Well, hold my beer. They have carbs.
What you mean menopause? Al was saying y'all are planning to have a baby next year. I'm just saying.
Maybe he was talking about a different Demetra. I don't know. But the factory is closed, brother. Okay, boarded up and everything. No more work here. Terry says, I'm having a birthday party because I live half a century. I want to have a birthday party, but the way the Rona is set up and all of my family is in California. I might go back to California for my birthday. I don't know. We'll see. But I wanted to have a big party too, but I want to be responsible as well. And the White says, amazing, brilliant, black, tenacious goddess and beautiful black Nubian, unforgettable queen before America in our continent. The black woman was 140 years long, life in jeopardy. Okay, you know what? You should put all that down in a little booklet or something. You need to teach a course. Mr. Private Brain says, a little liver every now and then is good for your blood. I ain't got into the whole beef thing like that. Chicken mostly. But yeah, liver is good for you. And Jacob versus Esau says 50. Sister, and you look 35 as young Jamaican man in his 20s, that glow and fro. If only I would see it more from the women of my generation instead of all the fake nonsense. You know what? Y'all really know how to make a girl feel good. 35.
But that is true, though. A lot of these young girls, you look at them, they look like they're our age. It's just like, yikes, what's going on?
As you say, burning the candles at both ends. That's that city girl lifestyle. We stay away from the city girl lifestyle.
That WAP is getting old.
Pam Jam said, did you know that the fruit cause fatty liver? I kid you not. Yeah, I don't eat a whole lot of fruit either. But it's better on me, on my body than the vegetables. It's just the weirdest thing. I forget what they call it, but yeah, it jacks me up. And Jonelle says, we are not born to eat meat. We are programmed to eat meat. There you go. Yeah, we don't have the teeth to even eat meat like that. Our teeth are flat to crush, not to really tear. And Terry says, omnivore out of the closet. Yeah. I always want to try to keep it real with you. I'm going to go back eventually, but I do mostly eat, most of my meals, I say 99% of them are plant-based, but every once in a while, I'll have some, and that makes me feel okay. I thought it was going to mess me up since I hadn't eaten meat in a long time, but it doesn't make me, I feel okay. So we'll see. And the wife says, sister, in 1970 in California, the European girls were wearing Afro wigs and pantyhose. Yeah, I mean.
Well, yeah, because our grandfathers were into that pimp mode. Everybody, they're trying to pimp everything. That's why we had the exploitation and stuff. Had that white Foxy Brown, on the stroll and stuff. That was what was popular. That's why the civil rights era Negroes are mad at what's going on today, and they don't want to do nothing for us or even help us because they're mad because they can't get in on all this new interracial sex that's available that they couldn't get a part of.
All right, Donovan. And Mr. Pirate says the factory is closed, but you can't pretend. Laugh out loud. Yeah, even sometimes you'd be like, yeah, let's pretend that we're doing something. Terry says, I'm Aries. Yes, Aries unite. And Pam Jam says, no lie, Demetra is pretty. That's my sister. Thank y'all so much. Y'all should have saw me before I came on here. Y'all saw me, I'd be like.
Now, obviously, these people do not know what pretty is. If you saw Demetra's mom, that was a pretty woman. So a lot of what Demetra gets, she gets it from her mama.
Yes, my mom was a heartbreaker. But I appreciate that, Pam. And then Terry says, where's my menopause? I'm a regular as a teenager. Woo. I know you guys don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Menopause it sucks. Donovan, remember, I'd be over there. I'd be, it's hot. But it is a blessing. I'll say that after all is said and done, it's a blessing.
We would be doing shows and she would just start sweating. And I'm looking at her like
beads of sweat. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it is. Just wait for it, sister. It's coming. And Terry says, we're going to be doing the Cabbage Patch with our mask and gloves on. I know that's right. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. Well, I'll be doing it with you in spirit. Trust me. And Marcus says, and I really think the media and everyone is downplaying the idea that Stevie Wonder is leaving America to protect his own. The weight of that for much of the media and the world is too hard to handle, considering many of us still want to stay. Yeah, Stevie was like, I see it.
Right, but everybody.
I'm out of here. He didn't say I see you later. He says I'm out of here.
Yeah. Seeing, where are you going with that? No, but what a lot of people don't understand is Stevie also helped in the situation that Black people are in today. You know, he was used as a tool of white supremacy as well. You know, inadvertently, but the fact is, the racism that is now prevalent that his kids and grandkids are experiencing, he also helped perpetrate.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Reggie says, you better get you a fish sandwich, Demetra. You know, I mean, I'm really eating fish at all. I'm scared, but I might try some. Just to see how it does. I don't want to break out in something. And Dwight says, Leviticus 11:7 in the Bible says, God said, don't touch the hide or swine, not its dead carcass. And now they're putting it on hamburgers. Yeah, that's one thing I ain't going to do is mess with no swine. You can believe that. But yeah, I mean, my goal is to eventually turn back to completely plant-based, but I'm just trying something now to see what I can do to help me feel better. We'll see. Reggie, you say, my mama used to call menopause her private summer. Yes. I likened it to a private hell. And Marcus says, Donovan, I totally disagree. If anything Stevie Wonder did was fight the good fight and realize that there was no victory at the end. I agree with that. I think he was like, hey, I'm out.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is if you look at some of his stuff in the 70s and stuff and how he was used and positioned to make Black people vote a certain way or do a certain thing, inadvertently, they did use him to do that. So, and a lot of our leaders and entertainers, they do it. I mean, me and Demetra were talking about that one lady that was on a news conference in some state, and she's talking about, I don't care what the need is. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? I put my arm out. I'm not asking any questions. That's what I'm saying. A lot of us and these entertainers are inadvertently used as a tool of white supremacy, and they don't realize it.
No, absolutely. And so that was the last comment question, you guys. I will get the questions as we get out of here. And Terry says, I did my fruitful multiplication. Time to rest until my next live. I know that's right. So anyway, we'll see you guys tonight on the Warzone at 7 p.m. Central Time with Gary, the 5-star general. We're going to be talking to a young lady who wants to run for Congress out in Houston, Texas. She wants to run for Congress. So we got a 9-year-old, you guys, 9 years old. So we're going to have that conversation with her. So stay tuned for that. And of course, we'll be back here on Sunday for the Demetra K Show. If you guys have something you want us to talk about, let us know and we'll be more than happy to do it. Donovan, what say you?
And do not miss the Demetra K Show on Sunday. We are talking about a serious situation. I think you guys would love to jump in on the comments and get in on that. So 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, do the math, whatever time zone you're in.
Absolutely. So we'll see y'all later. And Marcus, thank you for everything that you do. Bye, Jonelle. We'll see you guys in just a little bit. Peace.